Today, we are going to learn what is cultural studies and how it is having an impact on contemporary society. I will share my screen now. So, cultural studies is an aspect which is holding a sway over on contemporary society. That is, it is ruling the contemporary society. That is what my topic. And I hope culture is a very important element, which we all know, and how it comes under the discipline, and how it's attached to the multidisciplinary aspect, and how it is doing a great role in the contemporary people life. Everything we are going to see in this particular session. And the first thing is, what is culture? And introducing cultural studies, I wish to tell there are a lot of numerous, several cultures are followed in this contemporary society that we know, or unknowingly we are not aware of it, but they are as a culture. It is framed under a term. Here I have share you the cultures which are prevailing in the society. That is high culture, low culture, public culture, mass culture, rock culture, black British culture, black culture, gay culture, post-colonial culture, colonial culture, popular culture, postmodern culture, youth culture, cyber culture, global culture. So a vast area. Cultural studies is a very vast area. We could not accommodate it in a 1 hour lecture, I hope so. But I'll try my level best to introduce the important terms in it and the concept of it, and how we can apply. If we are a researcher, we can do research over it through all these particular terms. And I'm giving you the key concepts which can be accepted or which can be applied in disciplinary arena. The major aspect of cultural studies is high culture and low culture. This is what the major umbrella term which we are going to see the entire aspect of the cultural studies. And here I have displayed all the cultures. I will explain you one by one while it comes to the slides, what are they and how they are functioning in the society. Now, before going to the cultural studies aspect, we should know what is culture. What is the view of culture, and the view which is needed to know about cultural studies. The thing culture is actually an ambiguous term. We know it. It's a very ambiguous term. We cannot define it into a single sector, like our food habits, our dressing habits, and the traditional rituals that we following, religious aspects, economical aspects, social aspects, everything we can put under the term culture. So it's a very ambiguous term, but it is a very famous term nowadays, and we are unknowingly adapted to it already. We are assimilated with it already, but some of us only aware of it, and we need to aware of it. That is why the topic is very essential for us to understand. Now, and the cultural studies is an aspect was defined or coined by anthropologist Marvin Harris. So anthropologist, from anthropology, the cultural studies came into existence in this world of study. And nowadays it is moving on to the multiple fields of studies, and especially it is a major term, major theory, which we are looking at in the area of literature. And anthropologists consider culture as a social behavior, and some of the others think culture as a abstraction from behavior. Some stone axis, pottery, fashion, style, on all these things. In these aspects, if we see, there is a culture in every aspects. Pottery has some exact culture from the beginning to now. In the previous eras, pottery, the function of pottery, the function of dance, or the way of the style of dance, style of music is different. But nowadays, the style of music, style of dance is different. And culture exists only in the mind. This is the view of some of the critics. So this is a very ambiguous term. We could not define it in a single aspect. But the thing is, culture that we want to know, the cultural studies, why we need to know, why it is important is, every aspect of the society, every new inventions, every new theory, every new lifestyle, politics, economy, everything It has an intention of cultural meaning. It has an encoding of cultural meaning, decoding of cultural meaning. So we should know that, then only we can identify there is an intention behind each and every aspect in the society. But previously, or in the previous eras, we don't want to focus on the culture in this larger extent. We know there is a culture behind every aspect of our life, but because it is a structural pattern of our behavior or some beliefs that we follow in our life. But nowadays the culture was framed as a intentional way of aspect in a life, in a society, in a way of life. So Primitive Cultures is a book by Taylor. Here I wish to convey culture is a complex, is a term I wish to convey to you through this book. It is a definition given by Taylor that culture is a complex entity. He says it is a complex whole, knowledge, law, moral, and other capabilities which a man acquired by a member as a society. As a member of the society, he acquired a knowledge, he acquired a law, he acquired a moral, he acquired a certain system of values, certain system of life patterns, everything. So, which is in turn coined or converted or conveyed as culture. This is what the explanation of Taylor in his book Primitive Cultures, and it is one of the most important book we need to read in order to know the basic aspect or basic resource of culture and its studies. And we are moving to the coinage of Raymond Williams, and he is the one of the most important figure of cultural studies. Actually, cultural studies is the term coined by Richard Haggard, and Raymond Williams is one of the founders of cultural studies theory, and it is a school of movement. And Raymond Williams, he says culture is the organization of production, structure of the family, structure of the institution, which express and govern social relationships, and which in turn the characteristics in turn make a formation of communication which reflects the culture. This is what the explanation of culture given by Raymond Williams. What is organization of production? While thinking about the production, the word production, here cultural studies gives the cultural meaning to the term production, which means encoding something intentionally. For example, if a branded cream, like a beautician cream, skincare cream, which was implemented or established by an industry, there is a encoding given by the or intentional message given by the particular industry is to sell the product and marketing the product, which is different. So this is what the organization of production mentioned by Raymond Williams. For example, Fair and Lovely ad, which says that if a woman uses the Fair and Lovely, she'll become very more beautiful and she'll become very fair. This is what the encoding message of the company. But the decoding, if we try to decode it, it will give it two types of results. Maybe it gives some white skin, maybe it results in our skin will become as if previously what it was. So this is what the decoding and encoding aspect of cultural studies. So Raymond Williams says that there was a certain pattern of structure, certain pattern of institution, certain pattern of beliefs which were expressed or governed by somebody in order to have an intention of their product to sell, or in order to make their idea is correct, they make a social relationship, they encode some messages, which in turn converts into a form of communication. So the communication says that it is good, but if we find it bad when we started to use it or to find out the result of it. So the Raymond Williams aspect is that cultural studies makes us to aware that there is a different meaning for each and every aspect of life, or a material or an idea implemented or established in a society. We should not accept it as if it was conveyed to us. We should uh, interpret it in order to identify what is the real intention behind this particular aspect of establishment.